I was living in Palm Desert, and I was playing drums with Fu Manchu, and it was around like 98, 99. And that was when I decided that I wanted to make a record on my own. It was a really big deal for me. I was really nervous. I think a lot of artists go through that, you know, when they want to like kind of like break through within themselves and do something they've never done before. You know, am I going to get clowned? Are people going to take it serious? What if it's lame? You know, and it's like, but that's the challenge, you know. You know, it was something I'd been wanting to do for a while. But it was about that time that I decided, okay, you know, Fu Manchu had gotten home from a tour. We had a break, and I just decided, you know, I was painting houses, you know, the lame day job, you know, I was bumming on that, and I looked at my bro Dave, who we roomed together at that time, and I said, Dave, I said, I'm gonna make a record by myself, and I'm gonna start doing my own trip. I quit my job the next day and took my cash and booked a week's time at Rancho de la Luna up in Joshua Tree. And for the next 3 weeks, I just would hang out in my apartment, and with a 4-track recorder, I would just kind of start dropping grooves and beats and guitar licks, and then I'd dump it to cassette, and I'd put it in my Walkman with the headphones, and I'd ride my bike through the town during sunset to check it out, see how the grooves were, and make sure that it was flowing nice. And I woodshed it and got the whole record all dialed in those 3 weeks, 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then it was time. You know, my time was booked about then, up at the rancho with Fred Drake, who owned the Rancho de la Luna. He booked my time, and I'd worked in sessions with him prior to Jalamanta, and he was going to engineer it, but he wasn't feeling too good, so he got sick and said my friend Tony's going to do it. And I met Tony a couple times through other sessions as well. And Tony Mason was one of the guys that I really related to up in Joshua Tree.
I'd never recorded a record. I was just assisting, and Fred wasn't feeling well, and he said, here, you know, record this record, you know, and I still trip on it because it's like, what an awesome opportunity, what a joy to, you know, work with somebody as laid back as Brant. Fred was a huge influence, obviously, and at one point in his career down in Los Angeles, he and this other friend of his had an opportunity to work with Chad Blake. And up to that point, Fred was like, you know, just learning how to engineer and stuff, I assume. And when he met Chad and they started working with him, Chad Blake turned him on to this idea of recording can be fun. And he said it just changed his world, and it's always stuck with me. You know, yeah, it can be a job or whatever, but I'm not really into that, you know? I mean, what the hell?